Hey there, and welcome to GamePoints, our weekly little get-together. We talk about the past week in gaming news. I am, as always, your host, Stephen Brown. Joining me today is David Smith. Thank you for joining us live. If you're watching us here at Twitch TV/GamePoints for episode 74. If you're watching us on YouTube, thanks as well. Feel free to like, subscribe, follow on whatever platform you happen to be on. The Bees Weaves, Xbox One, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you coming back. Sorry we weren't here last week. We had a bit of a hard holiday, and we just had to take a week off since nothing happened. But stuff has happened.
It was an extended winter break here at GamePoints.
But stuff has happened since then. We do have some news coming out. We're going to go over some Switch rumors that have come out over the past few weeks. We're going to discuss Scalebound getting the axe. Unfortunately, we have some Mass Effect information, and we are going to be discussing the games that we are most looking forward to in 2017. If you're watching us live, feel free to join in the conversation. We'll try to address your concerns when available. Just don't get too upset if we end up going over it. We do kind of fast. If you're watching us on YouTube,
I type faster than he does, though.
Yeah, if you watch us on YouTube, comment down below and all that good stuff. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the first news story. At categories as somewhat as breaking news, since this did just happen earlier today. And that is Scalebound is officially dead.
That shit's rough.
Yeah. For those who don't know what Scalebound was, this was the Platinum Games Xbox One exclusive. You're essentially a punk skater kid that rode a dragon. It looked like Devil May Cry meets Drakengard. Done by Platinum
me, I was
Games.
getting some Panzer Dragoon Saga. Well, just because, there's been nothing similar to that in a really long time.
Yeah, a little bit of Panzer Dragoon in there. Like I said, I got a lot of Drakengard for myself.
The big thing is that with Platinum Games is, if you're not familiar with them, they make all kinds of shit, but they kind of have like an A and a B team, similar to how back in the day with like the Call of Duties, there was like the Treyarch games and there was the Infinity Ward games. Yeah. Platinum kind of has their similar scenario, except for the B team is closer to the Z team, which is why sometimes there's just absolute shit coming out of them. The good team was actually working on Scalebound.
Yeah,
that's shitty.
This sucks bad for Platinum. Let me go ahead and get you the official statement. This has been reported by multiple sources, Kotaku, Eurogamer, but the quote I'm going to use is being posted on IGN here, and that is, a Microsoft representative provided the following statement to IGN. After careful deliberation, Microsoft Studios has come to the decision to end production for Scalebound. We're working hard to deliver an amazing lineup of games to our fans this year, including Halo Wars 2, Crackdown 3, and State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves, and other great experiences. Kind of stumbling over myself as I say that and get that out. Long story short, they're done. This is really, really bad for Platinum because, one, their name has really meant shit the past few years because they've been producing really crap tier titles as their A-team works on getting Scalebound out. Two, it's 3 to 4 years of development just gone down the drain. And we don't even know if they own the IP. Microsoft might own this IP, so we can't even tell if they can ship it somewhere else. So that...
Or retake any of the assets or do anything with any of it.
Yeah, all that work combined with the fact that their name is kind of crap right now, and some of the members on that staff are a bit explosive on social media. Their reputation suffered real bad. As far as Microsoft fans go, this sucks for them too, because in the past year or so, Microsoft has axed multiple exclusive games, that were first-party games, I should say, including Fable Legends, Phantom Dust, and now this. And they've even shut down Lionhead Studios. This is all bad. I'm also hearing rumors, and keep in mind this is just rumor, that Crackdown 3 might be on the chopping block next. It hasn't really been shown
That
anywhere.
would make me very upset.
Yeah.
Because the Crackdown games are awesome.
Microsoft is moving to multiplayer as a focus. They're kind of a couple years behind when everyone else tried doing that. They bought Minecraft, and so now they're trying to be able to sell games as a service rather than games as a single-player contained experience. And if they can't do that, they're cutting the fat off. Not only that, but their last few big exclusive titles like Recore and Quantum Break have been disappointing, to say the least. So you're seeing a massive reorganization on the games level at Microsoft, and that's a shame because it's all getting eliminated. There's literally no reason to own an Xbox anymore, as far as I can tell. The Bees Weaves says, I'm a Microsoft fan, and none of those games excite me. Yeah, fair enough. I was looking
I mean,
forward to Scalebound myself, but go ahead, David.
to be fair, these games they don't necessarily have mass market appeal, which it seems like Microsoft is shifting more towards the trend of getting the super broad audiences. So I can understand that may be a factor in their decision. But for everyone else that was exciting, it's still a bummer.
Well,
I mean, I know it might not be the numbers that they want to see, but I still hate to see even smaller games get canned. But after 4 years of development with nothing to show for it, that's shit.
that sucks, yeah. And look at their statement. The games they mentioned, Halo Wars 2, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, and Sea of Thieves, all have massive multiplayer components tied into them. Even a traditionally single-player game like Crackdown 3 has the multiple agents on the same map kind of thing going on. So they're pushing that games as a service thing real hard. They're pushing we want a long tail. They're trying to do the Ubisoft thing, only being a little bit more blatant about it.
Yeah. Although the Halo Wars trailer was sick, so.
Yeah, well, that's Blur. Blur, I think, did the Halo Wars 2 trailer. They did the Dead Island trailer, and they did. If you see a fancy game CG trailer, that company's done it. Bees Weaves says he likes racing simulators, shooters, and off-the-block insane games like Goat Simulator. Well, Xbox still has Halo, Gears of War, and Forza, so you're still shaped up good for that. But none of those, I don't think, are coming out this year except for Forza.
Project Cars 2.
Oh, is Project Cars 2 also coming out this year? All right, fair
Slated.
enough. Either way, this is a big blow to Microsoft's catalog.
Well, basically what this says is there's not going to be as many exclusives for the Xbox this year, whereas I think like Sony has a pretty big lineup comparatively. I mean, they're nowhere near where we were 10 years ago, where each console would have 30 some odd exclusives. Because now with every third-party developer, obviously they're going to port their games on as many things as they can, unless they get an exclusive contract. And even then, those only tend to last 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, and keep in mind we are talking exclusives here. Battlefront 1, for example, is on both consoles. That's a big shooter, but we're talking first-party
that's what
exclusives.
I mean. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure there's a shit ton more PS4 exclusives this year.
Yeah. One more thing I do want to mention before I move on is that this parting of ways between Microsoft and Platinum Games does not seem to be amicable. There is a lot of grumbling behind closed doors that Microsoft was putting impossible deadlines on Platinum Games, that Platinum Games was pushing really hard to have their vision, and Microsoft was interfering. Platinum Games, like I said, there is some notoriety of them being somewhat difficult to work with. Keep in mind, this is all rumor. We don't know for certain, but the way Microsoft handled this was very unusual in the fact that they were actually taking down every single trailer that they can find on the internet, which is with a quickness that is usually reserved for when something bad goes down on it. So,
or if you talk about Nintendo.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the fallout from this, because I don't think certain people at Platinum Games keep their mouth shut for long on it unless they have a contract in place. But we'll definitely see. I personally don't think Platinum Games can recover from this. I think they're done as a studio now. They have Nier 2 coming out this month or next month, but out of that, they're done. But we'll see.
Bayonetta 3.
Any final thoughts before we move on to the next topic there, David?
Nah, Scalebound's burned. I think we got it. We figured it out.
Fair enough. Next topic.
Things that are not burned.
Yeah. Next topic. NVIDIA had their big trade show for CES 2017, and during then they announced that Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be launching March 21st. Yay.
You know what's funny is normally I'm the guy that has like the half-assed yay when we start talking about Mass Effect, but the more I look at Andromeda, the more I actually get, I guess, more intrigued by it. And I think it's literally because it's running on the Frostbite engine, and just shit on that engine looks so good.
It does. They did release a new gameplay trailer, which is what we have going right here. Please don't strike me or copyright claim me. It looks solid.
I'll put it on the internet.
Yeah. The animations are kind of odd on it. I I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. I love Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. I was even fine with the ending till 3. I get why people were pissed off about it, but I personally think it was a bit hyperbolic that people were raging against it. But this one I look at and I'm kind of... I don't want to say I'm lukewarm on it because I am very much looking forward to it. I just don't have that same excitement that I did when the first one came out. But it does
Luckily
seem to
for
be...
me, I have no nostalgia to deal with.
Yeah.
Though I will mention that Mass Effect 2 is currently free on Origin. If you're the kind of person that has Origin on your computer.
Yeah, I have to play these games, unfortunately. I like that they seem to be going back to form with the first one. I like that exploration seems to be a big focus. The animations seem kind of, janky. And there are, once again, rumors, but a lot of rumors that the development of this game was completely and totally fucked. So when I heard it has a date of March 21st, I was kind of surprised. In fact, so surprised I wouldn't be surprised if that gets slipped back. But we'll definitely see. It should be coming out... Yeah, March 21st, 2017 in North America, March 23rd in Europe.
Take that, Europe.
Yeah. I am cautiously optimistic about it. I want it to be good. It's just going to be weird to go back to this universe without having that cast that I enjoyed so much. Because it is, from what I understand, a couple hundred years after Mass Effect 3. Whoever survived would be, for the most part, dead at that point, save for a few species. But yeah,
I'm fine with it. Perfect for a reboot for the franchise that could potentially draw in old players, but also give new players that didn't give any shits about the old games reason to want to play. I don't have to know any story to play this game. I don't need any backstory. I don't need to watch an hour cutscene. I don't need to make a bunch of weird decisions that affect my gameplay that I'm going to do right now. No, just play a game. What's up?
Absolutely, and that's why it's called Mass Effect Andromeda, I think, rather than Mass Effect 4. They wanted that fresh start because, let's face it, going into Mass Effect 3 without playing 1 and 2 is really, really rough.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's Mass Effect Andromeda, March 21st. March is shaping out to be an extremely, extremely busy month for anyone who's into games. While we're on the topic of the NVIDIA press conference, let's go ahead and talk about the GeForce Now that they announced there and how fucking overpriced it is.
Oh my god. So you remember when we were talking about PlayStation Now?
Yes.
4 months ago, and I was actually pretty stoked on it because you can play all the PlayStation Network games, and it was like $19 a month or something like that. And it's this huge fucking library because you can play most of the PS2 games, a shit ton of PS3 games, like a lot of really cool stuff. Well, the nice thing about the NVIDIA streaming service is, one, you play the games you already own, and two, you pay a bunch of money to play those games on a computer that's not yours.
Yeah, it's
the future.
Yay, the future. This is via Ars Technica. Let me go ahead and bring up their site here. NVIDIA brings GeForce Now game streaming to any PC or Mac. Pricing starts at $25 for 20 hours of play on a GTX 1060 PC, and goes up from there. In fact, $25 will get you 10 hours on a GTX 1080. So my big problem with this is it's $25 for 20 hours is ridiculous as far as the pricing goes. That means you have to pay $150 to completely finish The Witcher 3 if you put as many hours into it as I did. Yeah, it's streaming on a real nice PC, but fuck that. That also doesn't count the price of the game that you have to pay for, because it's not like you get access to that game as you do it. Oops, wrong story. Now, Bees Weaves Xbox One saying is blown out of proportion. If you can elaborate on that some, we'll address it. But I personally definitely feel that the price is way overpriced. Especially if you're using it religiously, the only time I can see myself using this is if I take my POS laptop with me to some convention somewhere.
Well, that's specifically what it's for, is you can play shit on an underpowered machine by streaming it from a higher powered machine. It's, what the hell was that flippin' thing that came out a while ago that I think Sony bought? Where you streamed games that were running from the server, so you could play stuff that your computer necessarily can handle.
That's when they bought Gaikai and they tried doing the PlayStation Now.
Yeah, so it's the same concept, except for you're just playing it from your shit, I guess.
But who are they marketing here?
I don't know.
Who are they targeting? Because
people to go to see. I think this, honestly, I don't think a lot of people are going to do it, but I think it's more of a tech demo type of thing. Like, hey, guess what?
You think that they're showing this not because they're trying to push NVIDIA or GeForce Now, but they're trying to show what NVIDIA can do.
Yeah. Like, hey, check it out. We've now put enough into the engines and into what our graphic cards do that you can just play shit from wherever and it'll run off a single machine. We've already had different services that have happened where you're streaming from a server bank, from a whole bunch of fucking computers that you can play on your low end computer. This you're running off of one single PC.
Fair enough. It just seems. I don't know. I just don't like it. Like I said, the price is way too high, and my biggest question is why didn't they just go with a monthly fee? $50 a month. Wouldn't that make more sense than this $25 for 20 hours crap?
I don't know. It also depends on exactly how they're having this set up, how many PCs they plan to have implemented, because they kind of need to test the market. Because if no one does it, then they need the high price. Otherwise, it's just a failed project. I think maybe if they get some steam, they can revise pricing and see what happens. But I'm never going to use it. So
yeah, neither am I.
So on related CES news,
yes.
since we are talking about it, did you pay attention to the Razer booth?
Are you referring to that
completely
laptop?
Fucking bonkers, nonsensical, triple monitor laptop that they were showing off that I guarantee costs like $6,000, that has like a GTX 1080 and all this shit in it, even though it doesn't actually have the horsepower to run necessarily 3-monitor gaming.
Once you break it down, I know what it looks like. I could picture it in my head, but I know very little about it.
So they made a laptop. It opens up like a laptop, but then it actually has the screen that you look at that slides out, another screen that you're looking at that slides out, and all of a sudden you have a 3-screen laptop sitting in front of you, which I guess could potentially be awesome if it was
design's cool.
powerful enough. I guess, yeah. It weighs a bit more. It's super fucking thick. And again, this is one of those things that I think is more tech demo than anything else, but they pitch it as a gaming laptop. But honestly, you'd be better off just playing on one of the monitors or just plugging the whole fucking thing into a single bigger monitor than trying to run those 3 monitors on a single game, because I don't think it necessarily supports that level of scaling. Now, the thing that they should do, though, is if they scale it back and actually try to appeal to a different market with it, so pull that GTX 1080 out and put in like a video processing card and start sending it to people that do video editing, people that work on spreadsheets, like
now
that do
that
regular
stuff would
work.
be interesting because the 3-monitor setup with like Adobe Premiere would be
exactly.
awesome.
That would be sweet, but it's pitched as like a gaming laptop, and that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I would take the thing with me anywhere to play games with it.
Let's be honest here. CES is a show where people go to announce outrageous ideas, which are almost always vaporware, but they're not there to actually show off what they're showing off. They're there to make a name for themselves. What Razer is doing here is going, hey, look at our 3-monitor laptop. Is it going to sell well? No.
Yeah.
But it has fucking everyone writing about it and everyone talking about Razer, and that's why they showed up.
In addition, a bunch of their projects got stolen from their booth.
Yeah, I did hear about that. I wasn't going to bring it up, but there was a Facebook post where the CEO of Razer more or less said that a couple of their prototypes were just fucking jacked right off the show floor, which sucks.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. I know some folks that work over there, so it sucks.
It sucks, but
for some reason, information on who stole shit from Razer, maybe drop them a line. I'm more than willing to bet they will give you some sweet swag if they can get that shit back.
Yeah. This does happen at every show, though. There are people looking to jack things, be it just someone looking to steal something or corporate espionage, which actually does happen at the hardware level.
Although I do think that's more likely than someone just jacking something off the show floor and running out with it. It was probably corporate nonsense. But
yeah,
still, bummer.
That sucks. But yeah, GeForce Now, back to the original topic, way overpriced for what it is. Fucking give me just a monthly subscription fee. And even then, I'm not going to use it, but at least I can justify it to other people who want it.
$19 a month?
I'd say 50 for what they're asking for unlimited.
Okay.
Anyways, next topic.
Okay.
Shenmue HD has been trademarked. This comes via SegaNerds.com. You might have saw this real quick when I was rotating over earlier. ShenmueHD.com has been registered by Sega of Europe. With Shenmue 3 right around the corner, many fans hope to see HD remasters of the first 2 Shenmue games beforehand. According to a recent finding by a member from Shenmue 500K, Sega of Europe has registered for domain name ShenmueHD.com. Makes sense to re-release the games before the third one comes out being kickstarted.
It's about time, especially since the first one came out in 1999.
Yes.
I'm willing to bet a lot of the people that are going to see Shenmue 3 come out are going to say, "What the fuck is Shenmue? Oh, it's a story-driven game, and I know nothing about any of it."
You too can be
Maybe
looking
they.
for sailors in high definition.
Hell yeah!
One thing to note that's interesting about this, Shenmue 3 is not being published by Sega. Sega has no hand in Shenmue 3 at all.
It's true.
But they do own the rights to Shenmue 1 and 2. So this actually has nothing to do with Shenmue 3 beyond the fact that Sega seems to be opportunistic and is releasing this HD collection to cash in on the hype of Shenmue 3. Now, this is also still rumored. They just bought the domain. We don't know if this is actually coming or not, but it makes perfect sense for them to do this.
Yeah. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I never understood the hype of Shenmue, so it's hard for me to really even get excited for this.
I don't know. In 1999, when I was a kid, it was fun.
See, I was, not to date myself, but I was 19 when this
Older
game came
than
out.
me.
So in 1999, I played it, and I was bored to death by it because they just wanted me to drive a forklift around everywhere, and I was like, this is fucking dumb. I don't get what's going on.
Well, it was the first game that really tried to put you in the role of a person that's just doing person things. You're going and searching for shit. You're looking for sailors. You're trying to find your dad. You're randomly getting into fights with the actual pretty detailed combat system for no fucking reason. By the way, this is Sega, and it was made by some of the guys that made Virtua Fighter.
So, yeah, I mean, I understand people love Shenmue. I understand it's a beloved
At least 6
franchise.
people will play this. That's my call. We can move on.
Yeah, fair enough. Next topic, and this actually got me interested in the game, finally, and that's that Elite Dangerous finally gave players aliens.
To be fair, it's not that they finally gave players aliens. Aliens have supposedly been in the game the entire fucking time. Just literally no one found them until now, which for me is actually pretty amazing because
Yeah,
there's a lot of gameplay that you can watch of that game, a bunch of like Let's Plays and streams and shit, but the fact that they just now found aliens in one of the cooler cinematics I've seen recently makes me really excited. I actually think I should have picked that up instead of No Man's Sky.
Yeah. So the idea is that for a while now, people have been in Elite have been looking for aliens because there's all these ruins and hints that there was a couple alien races out there, but they never appeared. And then all of a sudden, and I have the video playing right now, this guy who's flying around in hyperspace gets pulled out of hyperspace and his ship shuts down. Now, this is not supposed to be able to happen in the game. So I can only imagine is if you were playing the game and all of a sudden this happens, how amazing it would be.
You just crash out of space.
Yeah.
And your ship turns off and you can't do anything.
Never happened before. Then this alien ship appears, it scans you, and just goes away. It's a cool idea because the developers for Elite Dangerous never announced that they were putting these guys in here. They just showed up one day, and it wasn't until people started talking about this alien race and talking about, hey, I found this ship. What the fuck is it? It looks like nothing else in there. Did the developers finally confirm that, yeah, they're called the Thargoids and that they are coming. So right now it's just a couple
of
like
teased, so I guess different planets and stuff. There's ruins and kind of stuff that you can see that mentions an alien race, but no one had any idea about it. And then this big creepy floating Staryu shows up. And
I just love the way they handled it. No mention of it, no mention of them coming. They just put it into the game, and then bam, here it is coming up.
I like games that can keep secrets now.
Yeah, same here. It is
because
truly...
no one knew this shit was in here. Like any other game, people like data mined it or whatever. We know everything that's going to happen before it happens. Like when Smash Brothers was released, we had the entire cast of that game well before it came out.
Yeah.
Fucking Elite Dangerous snuck aliens in, and it took people almost a year to find them. That's fucking amazing.
Well, these aliens itself, like the actual ship and what you're seeing here, this wasn't in the game until recently. People would have found it before then. What they would have done is they would have had to stealth patch the game, and then eventually someone would have ran into them.
Whatever, man.
But it's handled very well, very cool, and actually has me interested in picking up Elite Dangerous, which was something I didn't think I'd be saying.
I actually really want to play that game now.
Yeah, and I probably would be too. It looks cool. Next topic. Injustice 2 has a release date. Now, David, did you ever play Injustice?
Hell yeah.
It sounds like you liked it.
Well, the biggest thing for me that come out of Injustice is the fucking comics, because they're amazing.
Yeah, the Injustice comic itself is amazing. If you don't know what it is...
Superman punches the Joker through the heart.
Yeah, it's rough. If you don't know what Injustice is, Injustice is a fighting game from the guys who made Mortal Kombat, focused around DC characters in an alternate timeline where Batman went horribly evil. And on their Twitter, they have officially announced that Injustice 2 is coming 5/16/17. I believe that is May 16th, 2017. January, February, March, April. Yeah, May.
Did you use your hand?
Yeah, I did use my hand, but I did it off camera so people couldn't see it.
There you go. I like Injustice.
Cool.
Well, I mean,
Awesome.
I like the new Mortal Kombat games. I think what NetherRealm's doing is a pretty solid fighting system. It gets play at Evo and shit like that. So fighting game fans like it. And a new Injustice game, I'm all for. Anything that lets me beat the shit out of Superman.
You know, I liked playing Injustice myself, and I'm not a fighting game guy. I really actually liked the campaign to it, the single-player campaign. I thought the story was fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
As far as a fighting game story can go, we're not talking Shakespeare here, but it was entertaining to watch. Spoilers for the first Injustice, watching evil Superman like smoke Shazam, I think it was, like literally freezes his mouth over, picks his ass up, and laser heat rays right through his eyes.
And everyone is so evil, so great. And again, it spawns comics, and the comics are amazing.
Yeah. The Beeves Weaves Xbox One says he'll be the first pre-order. Don't pre-order it, man.
Yeah. That's like the moral of our show.
For the game, you could be excited game. You can pick it up day one, but I strongly suggest you don't give.
Even if there's a legendary, limited, super amazing edition that comes with like a barbecue pit, just pick it up on the day it comes out.
Yeah,
they always have the legendaries left over. And the biggest thing, especially if you're worried about NetherRealm, because this game will be published by WB, and if last year's any track record, it's very possible this game's going to launch with bugs and issues, at least on PC. Maybe give it a couple of days before you pick it up.
Yeah, I mean,
once it's cleaned up, I'm sure it'll be fucking amazing.
Yeah, I understand the hype. I understand that I have to have it right now. But when it comes to the games themselves, you're just giving them an interest-free loan for something that you don't know if it's really going to be good in the end or not. Take a breath, wait for it to come out, see if it's fucked up, and if it's not, then pick it up. If it's hardware, that's a little bit of a different story. If it's like the PlayStation VR unit or the upcoming Switch, that you might want to reserve because those are actually a lot harder to make. But games are literally stamped out and shipped off, so don't worry about pre-ordering the game. But yeah, Injustice 2 coming May 16th, 2017. I'm not going to buy it, but I am looking forward to watching someone else play it.
No, I'll play it. You can come over. I'll kick your ass. It'll be fine.
Sounds good.
Dude,
final.
This year's shaping up. I'm gonna get some fighting games this year. I'm excited.
Yeah. Final set of news is kind of a collection of Switch rumors that I have been keeping an eye on over the past few weeks. Couple things I want to mention before we get into this. One, these are rumors. Nothing has been confirmed from Nintendo. This is all from inside sources and people who are in the know of these things. Specifically, Emily Rogers and Laura Kate Dale.
People that have been right about things
They
before.
know people, and they tend to be right on this stuff. They have been wrong before, however, so just keep that in mind. Two, some of these are far more reliable than others, but I think all of these are definitely possible. And three, others are just blatantly obvious. So,
man, these caveats are making this news real boring sounding.
Well, hey, you know, it might be, but
yeah, due diligence, blah blah blah. But
yeah.
let's just talk about all these sweet, juicy gossips.
Fair enough. Well, the first one is, it sounds like the Switch is going to be coming out in March. It's all but confirmed at this point, especially when you see marketing at Target that says March 17.
Oh, yeah, okay. Switch in March, confirmed, 100%. GamePoints has put our name on.
We'll definitely find out more this Friday, I believe, when the Switch event happens.
We don't know anything.
One is saying Wii U 2.0 is what it's going to be. It might be.
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
I have faith in the Switch. I am actually kind of excited for it. I was burned by the Wii. I didn't even bother looking at the Wii U, but I think this is going to be a good reboot for Nintendo. Friday is going to be a big make it or break it moment for me. We'll see if they can sell this console to me finally or not. David, I know you're out. You've just been out since they've announced it. You don't even give a goddamn.
I said, don't bring me no more gimmicks. It's a console that turns into a handheld. Fuck you, Nintendo.
Yeah, and let's face it, because of that, it's going to be underpowered compared to the other systems. But
Congratulations, you have successfully made the original versions of the PlayStation and the Xbox.
yeah, I
But
am
you
a
can take it
believer
again.
of you don't need power to have a great game. Some of the greatest games I still play today are Super Nintendo games.
That's true, but Super Nintendo and the Nintendo, to that extent, were some of the better 2D powered consoles. 3D is a bit more different. Let's talk about a whole bunch of PS1 games that you will go back and play right this second that hold up just as well, because that list is very fucking short.
To a degree, yes, but you ignore the thriving indie scene on PC. For example, Darkest Dungeon, one of my favorite games of 2016.
Super clean 2D game. Next.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at, though. You don't need all that power. If the Wii U wants to give me a bunch of fucking 2D games that are exclusive to the Wii U, and if they're good, I'm fine with that.
Man, you can get a Vita and do that.
You know what's obscene?
It needs to be at least better than a Vita.
I'm going off on a side tangent here. You know what's insane about the Vita? That fucker is still $200 brand new.
I know. And the memory cards are fucking insane. I mean, I almost picked one up because I saw it for like less than $100. I'm like, there's some shit I would play on the Vita. I liked the PSP back in the day, but that stupid fucking proprietary memory card bullshit. Because you can get a 4 gig card for like $40. I'm sorry, Sony. That's why your handheld failed.
Yeah,
not because you didn't want to support it, not because it didn't necessarily have games, not because no one bought it. No, because you decided to make the memory cards, which are required to play fucking anything, way too much money. Just let it take SD cards. Live in the future.
Yeah, you would think they would know that, but they don't.
Where's that guy that forced all the cell phone manufacturers to make it so they all use the exact same plug? We need him to show up and start fixing this horrible storage nonsense.
Next Switch rumor is that, also coming from Laura Kate Dale. Contrary to my past reporting on Breath of the Wild release date, it is 100% coming at Switch launch in North America in March. Have seen finalized materials. This was something that I was hearing was going to get delayed, and it sounds like it's actually going to be set at launch date. That is going to definitely help the Nintendo Switch sales on day one. They need an extremely strong launch lineup, and from what I'm hearing, it is going to consist of a new Mario game, a new Splatoon game, Zelda, and a new Pokemon game. That right there will be a massive boon to them. But
I also saw that episode of Jimmy Fallon. Finished materials.
Yeah. Glad to know that's going to be day one. Leaning more to the favor of me getting it day one, but we'll see how it shakes out. Next rumor, and this one is a little bit more grain of salty because we don't have any real idea of what this is yet. Though
one second though.
Yeah.
Can we go back and like pour one out for all those poor fools that bought the Wii U for that Zelda game? Because while Breath of the Wild is going to be released on it, you know for sure it's going to be garbage.
Yeah, the far superior one is going to be on the Wii U. Let's just be honest here. It's going to be just like Twilight Princess was for the Wii and the GameCube. The GameCube one had some issues that the Wii had figured out, even though the GameCube one controlled better because I hated that fucking remote setup. But anyways, next rumor. What the fuck is Switch Mario Rabbids RPG, and why is there a guy named Grant Kirkhope composing music for it? Now, if you don't know who Grant Kirkhope is, he is the composer to the soundtracks of GoldenEye on the original Nintendo 64, Kingdoms of Amalur, and a couple other things. He's been in the gaming industry for a while. More interesting is the Super Mario Rabbids RPG. Now, this is a crossover game that's been rumored since November, but it sounds more likely that this is happening. But what an odd combination. Ubisoft and Nintendo making another Mario RPG, it sounds like.
Now, that is potentially amazing, but the fact that it's Mario Rabbids and it's a Mario RPG that's being produced by Ubisoft makes me not give any shits about it.
Well, I don't know who's actually going to be doing it. Is this Nintendo licensing Ubisoft characters to be used in the game, or is this Ubisoft making the game licensing the Mario franchise? My gut tells me the latter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
If they license it out to Ubisoft, it's going to be garbage.
Yeah, we'll see.
If they're just paying Ubisoft some money so they can get the Rabbids in there. Well, do you remember when the guy who the rabbits are from was popular?
No, I don't.
You don't remember Rayman?
Oh, I remember Rayman, but no one else
He's got
does.
floating gloves and no arms.
I never liked Rayman. He came around that time I was getting tired of cute mascot platformers anyways. But while on topic of Ubisoft, we have one final Switch rumor I do want to address, and once again from Laura Dell here. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is codenamed Odyssey, exclusive to Switch for 12 months only. Retail and digital versions, after 12 months digital on PS4 and Xbox One. This helps reinforce the Switch Mario Rabbids RPG because Beyond Good and Evil 2 is another Ubisoft title, and it sounds like Ubisoft is going in hard on the Switch, so it makes sense that Beyond Good and Evil 2 would be on the Switch for a timed exclusive.
And didn't we talk about how this was probably going to be vaporware, and then all of a sudden we're getting more Beyond Good and Evil 2 rumors?
Yeah, well, it's also a sequel no one asked for.
Well, to be fair, there's a whole bunch of people that are asking for it, as long as you have a loose definition of what a whole bunch of people is.
Yeah, and apparently you do. The same amount of people who want this wanted a Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and look how that game turned out. These are the same people who are clamoring for a Psychonauts 2, and look what that's going to turn out to be. I mean, that might actually be good. I don't know if that's Psychonauts 2. But it's
whoa. Why are you just bringing Psychonauts into this? I know you don't like Tim Schafer, but Psychonauts is a great game. You shut your mouth.
Here's the thing. This is one of those goodwill games that are made to try to make people go, oh, maybe that company isn't all that bad, when in reality it's going to be crap. I have no
Didn't
hopes
Ubisoft have that tweet saying, hey, we're going to stop being assholes, or we're going to try our best to be less of dicks all the time?
Yeah, I don't trust it.
Didn't they have that whole press release?
Deeds, not words, my friend. Prove to me,
Ubisoft.
Yeah. Prove to me, EA, that you're not going to be dicks anymore.
That horrible amalgamation of Ubisoft being EA.
I just don't think this is going to be good.
Origin,
I don't.
Powered by Uplay.
The time for Beyond Good and Evil has come and gone. Reboot the franchise if you need to, but to do a sequel to it, I don't know, man. The time for this is long past. But anyways, these are all games that might not even come out. We'll know more on Friday. In fact, we'll probably get all these confirmed on Friday if you are to believe what the rumor mill is saying, but you might not get them confirmed. But in the meantime, before any of that stuff comes out, David, why don't you tell us what we can play right now this week? What's coming out?
Oh man, it's a huge week for video games.
Don't you lie to me.
It's the beginning of January. Nothing important is happening unless you're the kind of person that likes weird indie-ish games or visual novels, and then maybe it's your time. Though the one thing that I guess I'm potentially excited for that's coming out this week is Rise and Shine on PC and Xbox One. It's a side-scrolling shooter platformer, to me akin to like a Mega Man style game, but it actually looks more like Metal Slug.
Yeah, I have played Rise and Shine and played it at PAX. It is kind of a send-up parody game of a lot of modern RPGs out there, or not modern RPGs, modern video games out there. In fact, the kid starts off saving the world because the hero, the legendary hero who looks a lot like Link, gets murdered in like the first 30 seconds of the game.
Yeah, you're right.
It is hard as nails from what I played of it, by the way, but it does look cool.
No, I will probably end up picking this up because I like this kind of shit, and it looks really cool. So also coming out this, I don't know what the hell this game release list is, man. Or did you just Google this stuff?
Yeah.
Bad. Also coming out this week.
I know what these games are.
A visual novel called Lady Killer in a Bind.
It's coming out on Steam. It's been released for a while. If you don't know what Lady Killer in a Bind is, it's the...
I will sum this up because it's ridiculous, and the tagline for the game is, my twin brother maybe cross-dresses him, and now I have to deal with a geeky stalker and a dominant beauty who wants me in a bind.
That's not the tagline for it, by the way. That's the official title. It's just shorthanded to this.
Oh my god, it's like a erotic visual novel.
For the most part, there's two reasons why it's on this list.
It's like that my boyfriend is a penguin or whatever the fuck that game's called. It's just there are people that play this.
Why
I have nothing against those people. I'm never gonna fucking touch it. So you go on.
One, it is the first game that I can think of on Steam, or maybe the second or third, but there aren't many, that actually shows explicit content. So Steam is like full-on nudity and just straight fucking. So Steam is kind of getting over that that taboo, which I think overall is going to be good for the gaming industry. Now, yes, they do have a bunch of H games on there, but they're censored. You have to download a patch independently. This is being released uncensored as it is. 2, this is done by Christine Love. This is the same person who did Hate, Analog and Digital, and Hate Plus and all that, which are, if you like visual novels, they are very interesting. The plot to it's interesting. Yeah. Well, those aren't really pornographic at all. This one is straight up pornographic. Those are, once again, if you like visual novels, you probably know. If you don't, who cares? Moving on. But the main reason why I'm bringing it up is because of the explicit content thing. Not because I am looking forward to playing this on Steam or anything like that. This is totally outside of my wheelhouse. What I am excited for is that Steam is getting over that AO taboo. You put this on the shelf at a Target, it would be AO. So I'm happy to know Steam is dealing with it.
All right, well, more things Steam is dealing with. This fucking list. Criminal Girls Invite Only is an RPG anime strategy. It's another sexy time potential nudity nonsense game.
Big tit waifus running around and you have to punish them. This game was on Vita for a while. It's now on Steam.
It's like an anime, but it's more RPG because you move around in a party, you fight things, but you know, all the girls are busty and I don't know. You motivate the girls somehow. I really did not read that far
into the
description on this game.
These are literally the biggest games I could find out coming this week because I didn't want to have a week where we just said nothing is coming out.
Nothing's coming out besides some weird shit on Steam, if you're into weird shit on Steam. Although I guess the only game that potentially has a following that's coming out this week is, how the fuck do you say it?
I'll say
it.
Hatsune Miku, Project Diva Future Tone, and there are 2 games. Colorful Tone is one, Future Sound is the other.
All I know is that these are an actual, like, a rhythm game, and I like rhythm games. But if you've seen pictures of the like super Japanime girl with the super long blue pigtails, this is her game. This is her new game.
Hatsune Miku is a virtual pop idol. If you don't know who she is, David. Swear to God, she was a computer-generated pop idol that's extremely popular over there, and her entire personality is digital.
All I know is that she was not in Space Channel 5, so she can go to hell.
Fair enough. But yeah, so they
games to play this week. I would recommend instead going back and replaying some of the amazing shit that came out last year.
I would agree.
And take a look at For more info on the stuff that we thought was awesome last year, you can watch our last show where we counted down our favorite games from 2016. On YouTube, I think.
When are we going to get more good games, David?
Dude, I'm pretty sure we're going to get new games this year, and they're going to be awesome. So that will bring us to our topic of the week. This week's topic, we're going to talk about our most anticipated games for 2017. Rules being, if you're playing at home, and by that I mean in chat, we're looking for any console, PC, or handheld game that's going to be released in 2017. Board games could also count if you're the kind of fella or lady that likes to play a lot of board games. But games with a nebulous release date or things that are more than likely going to get pushed to 2018 will not be on the list. And I want to go ahead and say it right this second, because otherwise it would be numbers 1, 2, and 3 on my list. Death Stranding is off of the list.
Yeah, that game's not coming out till 2020. Let's be
honest. There's no fucking way it's coming out this year. So, with that aside, we can talk about our upcoming games. Again, if you're in chat, feel free to toss out your favorites for this year. But how about you start?
All right, I'll start. Do you want me to just go through my entire list and then we'll go through your entire list? Or do you want to back and forth this?
No, we'll just jump back and forth because then we'll see what we like. We'll see what you like. We'll see if we have any repeats and where they fall. Mine is actually organized.
Yeah, mine is not in any particular order. I don't have any I need this above anyone others. But I will go ahead and start off with something that we talked about earlier in the show, and that is Mass Effect Andromeda. I mentioned that I am concerned about it, but that does not change the fact that I am very much looking forward to it. I am a huge Mass Effect fan. My wife gets me a whole bunch of Mass Effect logoed stuff every year for Christmas and for my birthday. I am very much looking forward to this one. I like that seems to be a return to form from the old first one, where it's focused a little bit more on exploring new territory. I am excited to meet this whole new cast of characters, even though the original trilogy's cast is so ingrained in my memory as being so great. And it's right around the corner, a couple months from now, and it should be out. So Mass Effect Andromeda is the first game I am looking forward to in 2017.
All right. So my first game is actually going to be a sequel to a game that came out 8 million years ago, an old PC game that the founders decided to kickstart a reboot that is put in the universe. I don't think necessarily they have all the licensing for it, but that is the new
I forgot
Torment
this
game,
existed.
Tides of Numenera. Tides of Numenera is coming out this year. I think it's an actual sequel to Planescape Torment.
It's not an actual sequel to Planescape Torment.
I think it's
it is a spiritual successor to Planescape Torment.
all I know is they've been doing shit tons of work on it. The people that are confirmed to doing the music and all the music I've heard sounds amazing, and it is a huge, remarkably detailed, funny, vivid RPG for PC, PS4, Xbox One. It comes out on the 28th of February.
Yeah, that should be out soon.
So that game I'm pretty excited for.
Bees Weaves and Xbox posted up a couple things he's looking forward to next year, so I'll go ahead and read them off real quick. He is looking for Project Cars 2 on the Xbox, Gran Turismo 8, he thinks, on the PlayStation 4 whenever
Gran Turismo Sport's coming out this year, but I don't believe they've actually announced the official date for 8 yet, but I will allow Sport.
And something called Jalopy.
Oh my god, Jalopy is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Dude, Jalopy is a game where you're driving on like Russian roads in an old beater piece of shit car, and you have to stop and fix it. And go check out Steam. It's an alpha or beta or something, and you can watch the trailer for it.
Per kilo of kerosene.
Whatever, dude. It looks hilarious. Yeah, I'm down for Gran Turismo and Project Cars, and yeah, those are good picks.
Next game I'm looking forward to in 2017, Persona 5. I love Persona, the series. I loved 4 especially. 3 was good. Hell, even 1 and 2 are solid. Super Japanese RPG with a kind of alternating game system. Part of the game is a slice of life, go about high school and be your normal kid style. And the other half of the game is a very in-depth hardcore RPG in the classic like turn-based style you're familiar with on Super Nintendo. Once again, the cast of characters to 4 specifically were very memorable. I actually got kind of emotionally invested in a couple of them. I remember something horrible was happening to one of the kids in there, and I kind of got pissed off. So it does a good job of pulling at your heartstrings in the right way. And that game should be out in a couple months as well. April, I think, is when that comes out. I am not positive on that, so you need to double check that one. But Persona 5, early this year.
All right. I'm going to beat that release date for the next pick on my countdown, which is a game that is releasing actually remarkably soon. And only game on my list that actually has any VR attached to it. And that's Resident Evil 7.
Comes out in a couple weeks, looks fantastic.
Comes out on the 24th. It looks like a throwback to an actual survival horror game. Gritty, dark, everything I've seen on it makes me excited for it. And yeah, bring it on.
Apparently, pre-orders in Japan are not good, so this game might bomb horribly in Japan, but I think American audiences are going to be excited for it. This could be the same thing as like Final Fantasy 15 was over there.
Or maybe they just learned not to pre-order?
Yeah, I mean, they could have.
I don't think that happened.
We'll see how sales for it shake out, but so far it's not looking optimistic for that game. But I am excited for that one as well.
Oh yeah.
Next thing I'm excited for, Horizon Zero Dawn. Open world, futuristic, hunting cyber dinosaurs. I mean, if you don't know what this game is,
I will mention that is actually on my list, but I actually have it listed as number 2 on mine.
All right.
Because of the games that I'm listing, Horizon Zero Dawn is the one that I've actually played the most of, and it's fucking awesome. The sound design's great. I'm a big fan of guerrilla games. I loved the entire Killzone franchise. Yes, I played the 3rd one with the Move controller. Yes, I kicked everyone's ass. No, it wasn't cheating. I don't care what anyone says.
Hey, it's in the game. It's not like you're using an exploit.
Yeah, it's a feature. Horizon Zero Dawn looks amazing, and it's actually coming out in February, so that's cool. Well, since you sold my number 2, I'm going to jump back to my number 3, which is something that again I said wasn't going to come out because Capcom hates its fans, but fuck yeah, we are getting a new Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is announced. It is supposed to be dropping late this year, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. We don't have a firm release date, but it is announced for I think Q3 or Q4 of this year. So
You think they'll get it out in time for Capcom Cup? Or is
Yeah.
Capcom Cup only Street Fighter?
Usually Street Fighter, but I mean, there's always fighting games.
We'll see how it works out. We have someone in chat talking about how they're going to go ahead and go right into 2018 and say that Farming Simulator 19 is coming because their cousin works for them, but it hasn't been officially announced yet. So I don't know if we technically got a quasi-rumored scoop, maybe.
The Farming Simulator games are actually pretty damn solid. I remember playing Farming Simulator 13 hammered drunk, and I loved that game. I just hired a dude to do all the work and then proceeded to crash tractors into stuff, but it was still fun.
And Michael Miles, welcome to the chat. Appreciate you joining the show. We are currently talking about the most anticipated games we're looking forward in 2017. We're rounding down the end of our lists here. I think we each have only about 2 left, but if you have some you want to mention, go ahead and pop them in chat there and we'll address them. My second to last game that I'm looking forward to in 2017, South Park: The Fractured Butthole. I loved The Stick of Truth. I thought it was an amazingly funny game. It made me laugh out loud repeatedly. I'm excited for this next one coming up. I kind of hope that it actually comes out early this year like they keep saying it did, but it keeps getting delayed and pushed around, so we'll actually see if it makes that date. If you haven't played it, I highly, highly recommend taking a look at The Stick of Truth. This is essentially going to be more of that, and I am really looking forward to it.
Pretty sure this game had smell-o-vision when it was at PAX.
It did. You're right. It did.
All right, so I got one more on my list that's actually on my list that you didn't take, and then I have an alternate since you stole one from me.
Okay.
So this game I'm fairly positive is coming out this year, a sequel to a series of games that were super fucking awesome, that were PC only. They were called Dawn of War. This is Dawn of War 3. It was at PAX. I played it. It's amazing. I cannot wait to play Dawn of War 3.
Yeah, Dawn of War 3 is a blast. I also played it as well. If you like any of the Dawn of War games, I highly recommend picking it up.
If you like RTS games, if you are a Warhammer 40K fan, if you like murdering orcs and various aliens with chain swords and flamethrowers, then yeah, I would take a look at Dawn of War 3.
Michael Miles in chats is more or less saying that they're just hard on Overwatch right now, and that's all they've been playing, and they're probably going to be playing it into 2017, it sounds like. I completely understand that. I keep going back to Blizzard games.
I've been putting a shit ton of hours in Heroes of the Storm right now, so I don't
something
have
about
on that
lately
one
has made me drink the Kool-Aid, and I've started up that Blizzard Battle.net launcher more than I have even Steamed the past few months, which is kind of interesting. But my final game that I'm looking forward to in 2017, Prey. It's from Arcane Studios, the guys that recently brought you Dishonored 2. If they take the level design from Dishonored 2 and put it into what they're calling a first-person Metroidvania game, I can only imagine how much ass this game is going to kick. Unfortunately, it is called Prey. I don't like that because it has nothing to do with the original Prey and the long since canceled Prey 2. Kind of wish they just called it something different. But that aside, Prey looks fucking amazing.
I actually forgot that Prey should be coming out this year, but that game does look phenomenal. I like the weird ghosty aliens they have in the trailers, the fact that the guy probably is insane somehow. Definitely gives me some Dead Space 1 vibes watching the trailers.
Absolutely.
But it looks sweet. So my final count on this list is not necessarily something that's going to be released this year, because it does not have a firm release date, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. Pretty sure. I could be wrong. Okay. That is a game that we were all waiting to see announced, and that's Red Dead Redemption 2.
That game is not going to be this year. I hate to burst your bubble.
Fuck you.
That game
you don't know my life.
This year.
I believe they can do it. They can bring that game to me. They will bring it to me before my birthday in December.
That game will be 2018 August.
No, they've already said it's supposed to come out fall this year.
No. It's not, man. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Red Dead Redemption 2 is not coming out this year.
Well, you stole something on my list, so that's going on there.
Fair enough. I think that wraps up our 5 games that we're looking for 2017. If you're watching us live in chat, thanks for your information on there. We always encourage you to join in the conversation on the topic of the week segment of the program. If you're watching us on YouTube, also feel free to comment down below as well. Yeah, I hear you, Beast Weaves. Red Dead Redemption 2, I do want it out this year. It's not going to be. I can promise you it's going to be next year.
Man, of all the things I hope you're wrong about, this one I hope you're wrong about the most.
Well, I'm wrong about a lot of things. I could be surprisingly right on some things, but I'm wrong way more than I'm right. So, I think that kind of wraps it up. Do you have anything you want to add there, David?
I can do that thing we do every week where I say don't pre-order, but that's my closing line. Yeah, we talked about it more than normal.
Next week, we will probably be getting real hard and heavy into the Switch announcement coming this Friday. Don't forget to tune in to your various streaming sources and sites to take a look at that. We'll probably have all kinds of information from there.
Or just watch us on Monday.
Or watch us on Monday.
You don't need to do your own research. We'll do the research for you, and we'll show you clips from Nintendo, and then the episode will get pulled. So make sure you watch it live.
But without further ado, this has been GamePoints episode 74. We do stream here at twitch.tv/GamePoints every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, except for lately because of the holidays, and everyone's been screwed up on the holidays, so sorry about that. Michael C. Miles, Beavis Weave, Xbox One, everyone else who's watching, thank you for joining the chat. We always appreciate it. If you're watching us live, feel free to follow us. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff down below. You can go to the Facebook page for any changes. You can follow us at GamePoints PC on the Twitter, which neither one of us really take a look at. If you want to follow us individually, I'm Stephen Brown at CapitalistPig21 down there. That guy over there is David Smith at PastLife_Satori. Once again, thanks for watching. We appreciate it, and we are out of here.